Okay, in today's game review, we'll be reviewing a game I actually haven't beat, nor do I think I ever will beat. And this is Fobia, Saint Dinfna Hotel. Dinfna being spelled Dinfna. How it's pronounced that, I don't know, but I actually looked up the pronunciation, and that's how you pronounce it. So, there you have it. Basically, I'll go over a bit of the game, and we'll start with the beginning. That being the story. As far as I can tell about this story, you actually play two different characters. You first play Reporter, who is going to this hotel to investigate the disappearances of its guests, and you also play the guy who built the hotel, and why he built it, and why he decided to do it, which you find out in a newspaper. And the hotel's main lobby. This game is made in the Unreal Engine 5, I believe. It could be not, could be, but it's a very, very good looking game. But unfortunately, the details of this game really squander the gameplay of this game because it makes it harder to notice things. And I think that because of that, there are a lot of things that really should have been done better with this game that are lacking. This game, as you can see, is a Resident Evil clone. It's got the Resident Evil inventory, it's got some Resident Evil monsters such as the walking grunts or zombies, the big bad that you can't necessarily kill, you can only avoid, and annoying spider things that bite your arm. And these things freaked me out. Like in this clip here. Yes, they creep me out quite a lot in this game. The horror aspect of this game is pretty well done. You're always kept basically on the edge of your seat. You are kept very paranoid, and it's very well done. The mechanics of this game are, of course, you have your guns, which is a pistol, a shotgun, a machine gun, and a revolver. If there are any more guns, I don't know, because again, I didn't beat this game. I got tired of it for specific reasons, which we'll get into. Now, as for the gameplay of this game, like I said, I mentioned the guns. You also get a camera that basically is able to show you things you can't see otherwise, like invisible ink kind of thing, where you put on the camera and you basically can see what's not there, or a different reality, I guess. And some places this worked, but in other places this camera gave me an absolute headache. And I ended up using it a lot in this game, and even then it was very hard to find things because of how much green haze there was. It also doesn't help that you don't get a map. You do get a map, but it's on the walls of this hotel. It's not in your inventory. It's not something you can just press M and boom, you have a map, which would have been very helpful. This game also does not you can interact with things, but I would much rather the interactable stuff to be glowing or flickering so you know what you can pick up and what you can't pick up, And I would have liked if there was some sort of arrow pointing you where you're supposed to go instead of it leaving you to yourself, because I got turned around so many times in this game that's mainly the reason why I stopped playing it, because I got very tired of being turned around. The other reason I got tired of this game, besides that, is the puzzles in this game. Now, mind you, some of the puzzles were okay. They were fine. I was able to solve a lot of them. But there were a few that were just downright irritating. But I'm not going to explain it. I'm going to let someone else explain it. Let me just reach out to this person real quick to see if they're still interested. So this is Axis. She was here when I was playing this game. She actually was extremely helpful throughout a lot of the puzzles. She actually solved a lot of these puzzles, and Axis wanted to talk about the puzzles of the game herself, even though I've already given a little bit of my side of it, but she had a few things she wanted to say about the game itself. So go ahead, Axis, you have the floor.
Okay, so please excuse some of the noise in the background. I'm having a giant right now, so hopefully you won't be able to hear it, but if you do, don't mind it. It's just thunder and lightning. Okay, so about the puzzle, because I didn't prepare a script for this, I'm just going to go off the top of my head. The puzzles aren't necessarily hard or extremely complex. It's just the environment that the puzzles are based in is extremely detailed. And it can be hard to decipher some of the clues from some of the environment because of the type of environment put into. There's a lot of running back and forth, there's a lot of backtracking, and it can be very frustrating.
Yeah, because I said in earlier I said that the one thing this game really needed was a better map than the map we had, which was the map wasn't even in our inventory. As I said, it was on the walls.
Like, I don't know how other people decipher, but most maps usually have like a corner system, or you can pull up the map inventory on the game, or you can collect a map. Not with this game. And that made walking around the environment extremely confusing, because even though it's supposed to be a small environment, you get turned around a lot because you have to do a lot of different things in camera environment, and it also includes enemies and puzzles.
I'm sure you want to talk about the brick puzzle, the puzzle behind the brick wall that took us like an age to brute force.
let me explain something. If you have to brute force your puzzle because you do not give all of the pieces to your puzzle in a clear and concise way to the experiencer of the game, then you're doing puzzles wrong.
See, the way that the brick puzzle worked, well, the way it was set up, is there was a 4 next to the door and a 3 in the bathroom. And that was all we had to work with. I looked all over the room with both the camera and without the camera, and I couldn't find another number. So I literally brute forced the puzzle. And as you can see with this footage, it took me an awful long time. The other puzzle that was very confusing that I gave up on, that everyone was trying to figure out with me, was the fifth floor's safe puzzle. There are numbers. There's a number 17 on the wall, 25 on a painting. You have to use the camera to see it, but
Doesn't give you any.
we don't know. We didn't know where the last number was. My assumption was it was the clock, but every time I would look at the clock with the camera, the hands would change every time to some different number. So it got really confusing.
I think I understand the idea of how the puzzle worked. It had like arrows. What arrow? It was confusing. Again, another puzzle would have a large amount of time forcing that nobody wants to spend, especially in a game filled with other things, bosses, monsters, and ninjas currently hunting you down.
Right.
Like, if you're going to make a Resident Evil, you can't make puzzles overly complicated, because the point of the Resident Evil game is not kind of sometimes puzzles, but most time it's monsters.
Yeah.
It's the horror factor and the monsters.
And again, there was nothing wrong with the monsters in this game. I in fact, enjoyed them. It's just, for us, and for me and my viewers, the problem was the fact that, and Access can attest to this, I was running in circles a lot because I was so confused about where to go. And the walkthroughs for this game, there are a few walkthroughs around, quite a few, and almost every single one I looked at cut out what I really needed to know.
Because I'm assuming they cut out where they ended up spending very obnoxiously long time also circle.
So again, like, I think that if there's one thing that would make this game, if there was a patch to this game, I would say give us a better map system, like into our inventory. Give us an arrow to follow so we know where we're going, so we have an objective to follow, and make the puzzles more easier to understand, because some of the, like, there were some puzzles that were good. I think the one that Axis liked was the name riddle puzzle. You actually solved that one pretty quickly, but you actually liked that one.
Yeah, that one was really It was a simple puzzle where it explained that none of the names didn't.
They didn't have vowels in them.
Sorry.
You're fine.
The best way to figure it out is just to listen to your character's cues when he finally walks into the correct place he's supposed to be.
Even that's not
You
helpful.
don't get it. I know, because he doesn't say anything specific. He's just like, "Oh, I sure hope I can do this said thing," or "Oh, that was terrifying," and then you're like, "Huh?"
Yeah. Like when we got to the door we're supposed to get to, he's like, "Here's the door, but I don't have the lock for it." I'm like, well, I have the key right here, buddy. You could just say maybe, give me a little bit more to work with, game. Like maybe I should go here to find it, or maybe I should go here to find it. It's like, no, just I don't have a key. I'm just like, ah. Thank you, Exodus, for this little thing. I'm grateful you came to me and wanted to say what you've, because I knew you had stuff to say, because you were going off hard.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Fobia can be a great game, but it's got a lot of issues it needs to work out first.
Yeah. So.
Give me story, give me excitement, give me fun monsters to kill. Don't give me bullshit puzzles. Alright, with that, we will see you guys in the next video.
Yes. Leave a like and subscribe for more serious video. Bye.